after they have done all they did, the girl were left to die. Then to hide their shame because they have to still run for their life, they took the cloth of Nengkolun. Tisan letam lo di mo? I was full of blood. They used that shirt of Nengkolun, which is full of blood, to just drap, to hide the insanity. And then they ran for their life.
Ka ucha nu chu hi le meitei te khatam ta hong phado hei chapan molpan meithal pan phado ka ama hi a collapse awan tha.
One of the victim of the video that went viral, her name is that she saw when these people came with such arms and weapons, she collapsed.
Ye chu police parking hi katai te khut katu ki da khut
And she
ngonga
said,
he
I helped the police guy wrist again, the way I did earlier. I said to him,
ka posal te ka u te ei mat pik tan ei ba hu dok pi gun ka te police parking he ka don ta so
my brother and my husband and some of our relatives, please go and rescue them. I begged to the police guy.
We all remember the horrific video from Manipur that went viral, that actually took the nation by storm. Today, I have with me one of the witnesses of that incident who saw all that happen in front of her eyes. She also lost her brother and her nephew in this incident. I have with me Ting Doi Hart, if I'm pronouncing your name right. So let me start with this. Can you tell me what exactly happened? What did you see? What exactly happened that day?
in tarik thum ni in a halo hin keu kho so in di halo adang si kha hal nai lo he ala tarik ni hin ka van ho ka thak dogo
The house, some of the houses are burned down on the 3rd. But on the 4th, they started moving out some of their belongings. After the 3rd incident happened, they started moving out some of their belongings. After they moved out some of the things from the house, they took shelter in the forest. 10 of them were hiding in the forest. One was her brother, the nephew, and those girls who were in the video, and then the village chief and his wife, and all together there were 10 of them, including this little girl. They were hiding in the forest.
She is the granddaughter who was
She is the
there
granddaughter of her.
with her
So all together
daddy?
from her village, 10 of them are hiding in the forest.
Okay. So how is she related to those three, to the other two girls?
Among the two women, they were molested and paraded naked. The older one was her bua's son's wife, like her bua. Her son is married to the lady in the video, the older lady. That's how, yes, she's related to him.
What happened after they were hiding in the forest?
gam laga ka kiselo ka tawa hile ka khosak la mo chung halo mi pi kha a hal jo phado kha hungsu ho khan wok cha kayo kel cha ho hung delo ji khan a kel cha pani pathum khale tha sa ki pugo so a hing cha sun kha a hung jam le gam la ka kisel na muno kha kel cha te kha hung jam lu du le meitei te arambai tengol te to meitei lipun te khan I hung tu dogo ta sa
Well, they were hiding. They were mob, the Arambai Tengol and the Meitei mob. They came from the other side of their village, and they entered their village, which was already abandoned by them. They were catching animals like pig and goat and other animal. They were chasing, trying to catch it for meal. Then the animal ran towards where they were hiding.
Okay, so that's how the mob got to know that
they are hiding in the forest.
Okay, then what happened after that?
je zo chun kel cha te hung jam lut phado kha meitei in hal ho kha hung suk phado meitei te khan ei mu wa je khun mi u me hung po dogina ti wa in ko wo Isun keile katai doga isun nu meitei kha ka wapot masawa ahile meitei lipun pa kinga kha katai do kele khut hiti hi katuga ibungo bangma ei lo kiwin kewo bangma ka susipu bangma ei lo kiwin kati
So when
Kawa,
they ran after the animal ran towards them, obviously for protecting their life. Then they, after realizing that they were there, then the mob started shouting that there are human beings hiding over here, and they call out that the woman, please come out. All the women over here, just come out of it. Then she says she came out and she held one of the
meitei lipun
Meitei Lipun. She held his hand like this, begging that, please spare my life. Don't do anything to me. Then they
Wahile.
call out for the men again, and they all came out. The men also had to come out because obviously, if they don't listen, what will happen? But she said after calling, they also came out of their hiding place.
kahung pot do hule ka u atha pen pawin posal hole hong pot do phalu chu meitei lipun ho kinga chu te hin ibungo ke un bangma ka susipu bangma ei lo kiwin ate ka u hin le ngai da madonna ti chu
His eldest brother, who was killed, he folded his hand and pleaded for his life, that Ibungo means young men, we have not done anything wrong. Please don't harm us.
je chun atiwa nga chu katunu je chun meitei lipun te arambai tengol te khahungo hei cha hung panu je meitei lipun pa khut katu pa chu ka wa tha so so ga hile me hei chapan pa chun tu ding ati ke hi ei doya chosan pura nang ho min ke ho nu meite asu sivin arebun areb jo phala tha we je go la chun nang ho le ka boarding la hi
Then while she was holding that guy's hand, there was another man with an axe trying to hack her. And he said that in Churachandpur, your people are misbehaving with us. That's the reason why I'm going to kill you with this axe that I have.
Around how many people were there?
Hindi
in this
bangsat
mob?
dia lah hiwam.
ata moi team jo sanai po
He said uncountable. Many of them. I couldn't even count them.
ka u chanu chu hi le meitei te khatam ta ga hung pha do hei chapan molpan meithal pan om pha do ka ma hi akolapsa awan tha
One of the victim of the video that went viral, her name is that she saw when these people came with such arms and weapons, she collapsed
je
out
pha
of fear.
je pha da hi ka sa te to ka bono so ama su ka zeno a hi wanga su ka tunu ka je chi kai mun chu ma ka wa pot do doga ai la ka posal chu te chu tha go je go chu ka sa te ni chu na hu mo adam lok chu hi la ka u to asapa to ka hau sa piu chu to angai to sa
Well, while they were looking after the KTM, the girl who was unconscious, then they tried to even la u to up bangkhat go to mo.
ka u chu bang khat gu nai lo ka pa wa so bang khat
So
atu go do so
they were trying to protect her husband
Yeah.
while they were looking after the girl who was unconscious. So there were a lot of commotion. One was okay looking after the girl that was unconscious. The other one has her husband who was trying to be attacked by this guy with the axe. So she said that while they were attacking her husband, the two daughters and some of them became a human shield to protect her husband. And though they continue to beat them, but they just took all the pain just to protect her husband, that is their father.
How old are the daughters?
Kumbang zate hiwam na zate ito.
kum som ni le khat kum som ni le
21
thum
and
ye
20.
ta ga te ni so
Yeah, they're also with us
Okay.
right now. So they bought cover their father and took all the beating just to spare his life.
Okay, so just to sum it up for our viewers up to now, that what she has told is that their village was attacked on 3rd of
On
May,
3rd, yes.
which is why they were hiding in the forest to protect themselves from the village. But because the mob was going after all these wild animals, so the wild animals actually moved towards them, which is why the mob got to know their location.
They were domesticated animals.
Yeah,
Yes.
the domesticated animals,
Yes.
which is why the mob got to know their
Yes,
location, which
yes.
is when they asked them to come out and they started beating them, right? And after that,
Ask the women to come out first.
asked the women to
Yes,
come out
and
first
then later on the men to
to come in.
join the community.
Okay, and after that, the village chief, her son, and the nephew and her brother, they were separated.
The village
From
chief,
them?
her brother,
Yeah.
and her nephew, and the village chief wife, 4 of them, were taken to a different location.
Okay, so what happened after that?
Jeju wasu keiten ni katunu hito munsum lama kasi sugule police te gari khat kalampi wa main road asu ki khama
She and
ma
her granddaughter went to a different direction, and they saw a police vehicle parked over there, not too far away. So,
jeju police parking hi katai te khut katu ki da khut
and she
ngonga
said,
he
I helped the police guy wrist again, the way I did earlier. I said to him,
ka posal te ka u te ei mat pik tan ei ba hu dok pi gun ka te police parking he ka don ta so
my brother and my husband and some of our relatives, please go and rescue them. I begged to the police guy.
so police pa so nei don talo
He didn't pay any attention to my plea.
gypsy police gari kha ka honga ka wa kalgo le ei son dogo ot kha kamo ei dot
She
daw
tried to enter, opening the car door, but they threw her out of the car. She could
mob?
not. The police. The police did not let her board the police vehicle. After she was in the police vehicle, when they didn't accept her plea and she was pushed out, she went to a different location where they all met, including the 2 girls. They're all out together.
Okay.
ye chu ai le ka jam suk na lamo chu main road lama meitei tam tak chun meitei te chun delun lang thadun delun manun thadun atiwang ki ko wong del subuta so
Then the mob scream out and say, chase them, kill them. So they ran towards them.
ai le adam lo hi je anaw pa nang pu ko ma hung pu hung ja mai so
Is the girl, come on,
eh
the younger girl in the video,
The 21-year-old.
the 21 mo. She, amakatay mang nati,
anaw pa na pu ba so apu ko ma su ja
her
mai
younger brother carried her because she was not in the good health.
Yeah.
So her younger brother carried her and they tried to run away to save their life. The mob caught them,
anai ka ye ngai hung
hit the brother, and he was bleeding like anything. And the mob, after beating them, and they brought them towards the police vehicle again, the mob themselves. After they caught them, beat up, who was carried by the brother.
Yeah.
Now the mob took them towards the vehicle again, where the vehicle was parked in the first place. She said because of crying of her granddaughter so much, she could not accompany them step by step, but she was following them at a little distance. And she saw them, that the mob put them in the police vehicle.
The girl and
The
her
girl
brother.
and the brother, and then the and her brother,
how sapi le
and the village chief wife.
ama
Yeah, all of them, 4 of them were put to inside the vehicle by the mob. She saw it from a distance because she could not catch them up due to crying of her granddaughter. So she was following them up quite a little far away from them. She said that instead of taking them to a Nongpok Sekmai police station, she saw them, the mob, inside the police vehicle, being beaten. The mob continued to beat even inside the police vehicle. And the vehicle was not moving. The vehicle was stationary and the police didn't do anything in spite of being under the police.
How many police officers were there?
Police was not a woman.
police hi panga police a tarik thum jana pat police atamoi police le atamoi
He say from third night itself, there were enough police.
Police atami.
Always.
At there when
Tu gari sunga umlai
on that
takut.
car.
Gari sunga umlai tawi pangagu
5 or
mun
6.
khara uminti win gari kha pani pathum lamahe pakhat chun le pali panga umo jela masule pali panga umtho.
It was not only one vehicle. One vehicle was obviously the mob surrounded the vehicle. But she say apart from that also there are 2-3 vehicles, which is the policemen were in those vehicles. So there were enough police in that vicinity. Yeah.
Okay, so after that, they were when they were taken to a different place, they all got together. She tried to get into the police van, but the police threw her away, basically pushed her away, that they are not going to help her. After that, they all got together, where the girl who was there in the video, she was carried by her brother because she was unconscious, and her brother was again beaten up by the mob,
yes.
and the mob took the brother,
them back to the vehicle.
took them back to the
vehicle, put them in the vehicle,
In the
and
police
inside
vehicle.
in the police vehicle,
Police
the same
vehicle.
vehicle where she was refused earlier.
Okay.
So they
Yes,
continue beating even inside the police vehicle.
Gari padang kai thago hin van sudin atiwa van kha ama honle sud ama le ki su sa eng sana kha ma van kha a sud pe go ta so
They
so ka bono kha ka
out
wanu
from
e
the
sud sa
vehicle.
go ta so
They drag the girl out from the vehicle and told them to strip themselves. They also just, took the cloth out forcefully, and then everybody was like, they can't do anything. Even she was asked to do that, just because her granddaughter was hugging her. They kind of spare her, not beyond stripping her. Beyond that, they didn't pay much attention because of her granddaughter.
e kha wanang su sak pha do hi neng kholun a chipa hin ka u cha pa hin je gola hi ka u ei bol pe ki vin na te re koi sa bol ki ra so meitei te ke nga kha ai le neng kholun khang vok pat ki ra je pat ki
Then
ta so
her nephew, Neng Kholun, told the mob that don't do this to the girl. This is not right. And when he strongly fought for them, then they started beating her nephew, Neng Kholun.
je hin ka u hi hung tai lut ki da ka cha te ti so ei bol pe ki vin na te awa do da he ka u hi a je pat ki ru ta so
Then Neng Kholun's father, that is her brother, came and said, please, don't beat this. Don't beat my son. Don't do this too. Then they also beat her brother. That's the father of Neng Kholun.
e so ka u hi a je bo chem ho le ji ho hi ko lem luma a je bo ka u hi ku sunga ki li lu ra mo
Then her brother, they used knife to cut him, chop him. Her brother, Neng Kholun's father,
e so ka u hi ku sunga ki li lu ra chi ta so
la u. Achaten ahuk pe no cho.
e ka a cha te ni hu ga chu chi na chu mo ka u hin ka cha te ti so ei bol pe kin na su sak pha do hi e neng khulun hin anaw pa hin ka u te je go la ei bol pe kin te dot lai neng khulun na vok ta je go chu ka u chu lut ki ra wa dot le ka u chu te chu khet lu ki ra chu
So her brother, who came to protect her son Neng Kholun, and Neng Kholun was protecting the girls. So then they killed her brother and threw him in the ditch.
e phat ka u thi jo wa hi neng khulun chu alu chang thing tum an je ki ro le
After killing Neng Kholun's father, that is her brother, now they attack Neng Kholun, her nephew again.
e so alu chang a je bu le
With
thi
the
thei
iron
mo ro
rod.
wa kha ki thinga gan cha ai tha le thinga ki sha ya
They hit his head with that iron rod. Like when someone kill animal, vigorously he shook. He just could not give up his spirit. He was shaking.
e kha ki thinga ma kha le a je wa je bo je lu pha do kha tu wa video a viral te ni kha awanu su jo kha main road pacha kha lo phai them kha da kho ang pui thawa aning nop no bo cho soi sawa ke te ni pi chan chu ka hi la ka jam suk na la mo chu meitei nu pi kharen pun ve ei pe chun ken le kaung ki ve ke chu mun chu ma ka ki sel de na a victim te ni chu hi le a hin theina dingo kha la ki do do mo ala jam dok ki
After that, the molestation of the girl, paraded them naked, continue in front of her.
ye chu ka ki hen no maw le mun chu ma tang la ma kha tha di le ti wa he alla atha sampu wa
They
awan ho khale
planned to kill them, but somehow they spare the two girls' life. And apono achenu khalewa gen letin.
apuno chen kha mo alus gama mo to ka ho kha ye kha chen thei ta lo wa anaw pa pu na thisan na ra kha kong anong khida
After they have done all they did, the girl were left to die. Then to hide their shame because they have to still run for their life, they took the cloth of Nenkolun. Tisan letam lo di mo? I was
letam.
full of blood. They used that shirt of Nenkolun, which is full of blood, to just drap, to hide the insanity.
e pana
And then they ran for their life.
somehow sakla ma jam to ke te ni pi chan chu thang la ma ka jam to jan da ni lama hung to ki a jinga da som lama kasate kapusalte to kimutu de ka
From there on, we split. They ran on different direction for their life,
The two girls.
the two girls.
Okay.
And then I also ran with my granddaughter to save our life. After that, we parted. Only till the next morning, we heard what exactly happened to them after that.
det li jing ka la hi det thum jana police ge ho hi le det li jing ka la hi ka inu ngo tuye ima tuye don sagina te tuile hoi taga police pa hi ka don saga
On the 3rd, the police came after the incident because the attack happened on the 3rd. This incident was on the 4th. One police guy came to her house and then she said, I served him water. The police who came to her house, she served him water.
bang mai lo ki win nangon phate ei ga don
Don't do anything to us. Guard us.
But when this incident happened, like when the girls were paraded naked, you said that she was there. So, was there other people who actually tried to stop the mob? Were there people who were trying to resist? Like
Tu
not letting
incident
that
umpe
happen?
ta kamo. Midang no ti lo a umem ahung pan pi thading zimuna ha ati chu Amy.
ei mi ko ma lo
Nobody from our side who could help them, who could fight for them, who could stop the mob.
ei pan
Nobody.
pi ei pan pi thei depend so police so chu ei dok
Only
dong thu.
person who could have helped them was the police. On that 5 in the morning, in a small village of the Daga community, that's where they all reunite again. Kukozi ka.
ji khan
There,
ke usung ho to
her
hausa
family,
pi hausa pu
the
to
village chief and the village
to
chief wife, and the victim in the video, the younger girl, they all reunited again in the Naga village, 10 o'clock in the morning. Tingnopa hospital, whole night, her husband remained unconscious.
ye ke ka pa zop ta
Then I prayed.
pathin nangin kasu pite hinna pani lei chan saga tu ka posal le ting no pal mo na he ki mui dinga lei koi pi ga tam ka te ka pa sa
Then I prayed to God and said, I lost my brother and my nephew, my family member. Will I also bury my husband in Tingnopa hospital? I cry out to God.
What is their source of income now?
Income sumuna lanaywan.
ka nei po
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nobody is working.
Nobody is working.
No. And whatever grocery, clothes, and rest of the things that they are right now are all donated. It's all collected. government la mapat mula na yun.
Bang mamunay lo report le ki report
Nothing
hello.
from the government. They cannot even report their situation.
Yes, did she file any FIR and any complaint about her brother and her nephew?
There was a FIR file where she and the other two victims were mentioned, and I believe even her brother and her nephew FIR was there because the village chief filed for the entire village. I believe it is there.
So was
Yes.
there any action taken?
The FIR la file ho ka bang ma thu het le na yun.
FIR a follow le follow thu le bang ma ka pe ka lung thim kho
She
angola.
said she's so numb. She cannot think straight. I don't even know whether they file FIR or not. It's just numb. I couldn't gather my thought.
Do you want to go back to Manipur?
Manipur la kileki.
Hoy lam lak
Not
kilaw ha.
at all. Not
Ka law je go Delhi mi a thung ki ungla ki hung su
fear
ga.
for our life there. That's why we even took money for loan to come here. She said, no, not at all.
Ki le ki nom ta lo ke so.
Never. I don't want to go back.
Is there something that she wants to say?
Again, ito umi.
What is her appeal? What does she want
Bang.
now?
Amaking again, ut la name.
Anything that she wants to say right now?
Tu hinna ding ti so tu thani tha thum hung di ka ta ma Delhi he. Khat ki nga nang ki nga le lun thang ki nga le som janga sang khat ho ka dol kho mu ka ki dot kho ma chun ka posal le ka mi het pi ho ki nga sum le pai ka don kho ma doctor ka che ka ke sago mo nek le sa le ti chu ka hol ka don kho velo tu chan pha hi ka ne wa hi le je go la hi din mun din yeng di chu bang ti ding am ke le ka lung dong
3 months now that they survived till now with the donation and the money given by someone who loved them. But she is afraid what will the future hold. 3 months have passed. This will not be, this kind of provision cannot sustain them for so long, and she's worried for that.
Every people who are in Manipur right now, they have the same question: what does the future hold for us? And I think that's what she is also asking. She lost her brother and her nephew in this particular incident, who was trying to save the two girls in the video we saw, the horrific Manipur video. We hope that all this gets better soon. But thank you so much for talking to us, ma'am. I know it was very hard for you, but thank you so much for talking to us.